Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body
Hello. You're now tuned in to the A Little Bit A Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome to another episode. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. So excited to be here and so excited that you're here. Oh my goodness. It has been a crazy week, I tell you that. Okay, like there's just been so many issues that have been going wrong with adulting. You know, for example, I just got a new couch that was about, two bandos, two thou bow, and one of them is supposed to be like, both of them are recliner, right? So I have a sofa and I have a love seat. One of the sofa is supposed to be a mechanical sofa. I'm sorry, a electric sofa, right? You press a button and then the recliner reclines. And then the other one is like a manual, so where you like pull the lever and then the reclines. Both of them are messed up. Okay. And I've only had this for a literal couple of weeks in my new apartment. My boyfriend has consistently been having car troubles, even though he just got this new car. Don't know what's going on with that. Then they want to charge us $100 just to look at it at the dealership. There has been a lot going on that I really want to disassociate from once I'm done taking care of those adult responsibilities. And one thing that is helping me disassociate from the troubles of life, the realities of adulting, is blind boxes. And I really, really wanted to take a moment and just put a spotlight on blind boxes, just because you guys know on this platform, I talk about things that are relevant to me and what's going on within pop culture. And they have recently taken over my brain. As a girl who has ADHD and can often get hyper fixated on things, this is my current hyper fixation. And I am live, laugh, loving down for blind boxes. So I figured we would just talk about the origins of blind boxes. What are they? What are the top brands of blind boxes out there? What are the ones that I have? What are the ones that I want? And just share my overall thoughts on just blind box lore in general for those who may not, be too experienced in the world of blind boxes. And if you are, just stick along for the ride and let me know in the comments on YouTube or Spotify, what is your favorite brand of blind boxes? What's your favorite line? What are your favorite characters? I need to know, because the world of blind box lore is so big and the community is so much bigger than I thought it would be, with all of the amazing people that collect all of these like amazing figurines. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. As a girly who's been getting back into things that make me happy, that are like primarily associated with my childhood, like coloring, playing video games, I feel like blind boxing lore is just like right up my alley, and a list that I can add to hobbies that I'm really enjoying lately. Yes, it costs us a little coin, but it's worth it. So let's dive into this so I can tell you guys all about what I personally have been fixated on for the past couple of weeks. But before we do that, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you give this video a like, comment down below, like I said, to let me know what are your thoughts on blind boxes, what are your favorites, what are your least faves, you know what I mean? Let's open up the chat, guys. All right, and subscribe. I'm so close to 700 subscribers, so I would really appreciate if you smash that button to join the community. We talk about mental health, we talk about pop culture, any and everything. I'm your one-stop shop, period. And turn those post notifications on. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, thank you so much. I appreciate those listeners, for real, for real. Rate that 5 stars, leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. So when it comes to blind boxes, I have my notes on my iPad like I always do, and I resorted to going to ChatGPT for a lot of this information, because ChatGPT, pulls information from the internet. Didn't feel like, having to find articles and stuff like that. So just a heads up. But I feel like the information that it gave me was like a pretty good, like, brief overview about, the few questions that I had, so that way I can explain to the folks out there who may not know what's going on. You know what I mean? So when it comes to blind boxes, I know the biggest question is, what really is a blind box, right? What the frick is it? And it basically told me that blind boxes are sealed packages that contain a random collectible item, and it's usually a part of a themed series. And you don't know which item you're getting until you open it, which makes collecting blind boxes fun, surprising, and sometimes frustrating. I tell you that is the biggest part to me. That is the appeal when it comes to watching the blind box unboxings on TikTok. And that's where I started kind of getting into the world of blind boxes, was on TikTok. They've been getting really, really popular over there. And the unboxing videos are just fascinating because you're like, you're rooting for this person. They usually start off by telling you what's the one that they want the most, what's the one that they want the least, and then just having that satisfying feeling of watching someone open up that box, rip open that paper, and see if it's one that they wanted or not. Is so interesting. And there's like certain people who, like, I swear, have the worst luck, and they always end up getting like the ones that they don't want, or they get duplicates, and it's really, really just crazy, right? Like, there's pros, there's cons, but overall, no matter what the result is, watching them on TikTok is still extremely fascinating, and it's just always going to entertain me every single time. And then if you guys don't follow me on my coloring account at Coloring with Kristen, like, what are you doing? I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And ever since I've gotten into the world of blind boxes, I do my unboxings over there rather than like on my podcast account, just because I figured like it's kind of like a hobby type of thing. And like my coloring account is for my hobby. I mean, podcasting is a hobby too, but I don't know. I just figured I would just do them over on my coloring account. So anytime I have like a blind box unboxing to do, you're going to see it over there. So I've had my fair share of, unboxing the pulls that I got, and it's exciting to share with an audience, Yeah, that's really where I started seeing them, was on TikTok. And I'm like, what is this? And it's not like I was like completely unaware, like personally, to the world of blind boxes, because you have like mini brands. Those are kind of like blind boxes in a way. And my sister collects mini brands. So whenever she gets them and seeing like what she pulled, it's always so much fun. And she's got like a big like gallon bag full of her mini brands. I've been like kind of exposed to like that world of like blind boxing, if you will. But when it comes to like the ones that are like more popular now, I feel like this is like a total different world. And the ones that are mainly the most popular are the blind boxes that are sold by Pop Mart and the ones that are sold by Sonny Angel. So for those who don't know, Pop Mart is a Chinese toy company, and they're known for creating designer blind box collectibles. And what makes them really unique is that they have original characters and they collaborate with artists. So a lot of times whenever they come out, like I said, with those blind boxes, they have like one artist is responsible for doing, this series. Another artist is responsible for creating this series. So I love the collaboration aspect to their lines. And they've basically just become super popular worldwide for their high quality figures, cute and quirky designs, and the mystery element, like I said, of not knowing which one you'll get. So when it comes to Pop Mart, some of their most well-known characters include Labubu, Pucky, and Molly, which Labubu especially is the one that has like specifically taken over, I'd say, the most on my timeline in America. Like, Labubu is basically just this cute little figurine that is like a little monster. It almost just looks like a little gremlin. They're cute, they're quirky, they're silly. I'm personally not interested in getting into collecting Labubus, but a lot of the girlies are, and I respect it. They're cute, but they're just not the ones that I want to get into. The ones that I want to get into, I'll be sure to share with you guys, in a bit. But yeah, those are the ones that especially have been, catching a lot of people's eyes with the Labubu. So much so that the girlies are lining up at the Pop Mart store, sweetie. Okay, they're paying attention to when the Labubus drop, right? The days that they drop, the times that they drops. They are lining up at the Pop Mart stores. It seems like the girlies are fighting for their lives over the Labubus. So I'm happy that I'm not really interested in getting into that, because that would just be one more thing that I have to fight for my life for. So I'll leave that to y'all, right? It's just gotten to the point where people are putting their Labubus on their bags. You walk around, you might see a Birkin with a Labubu on it. You don't know. It's got to the point where I've seen people on TikTok getting snatched up by Labubu snatchers. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your Labubus, because they're snatching up the hidden figurines that the girlies are putting on their purses, guys. Okay? Put that Telfar and that mother freaking Birkin and tuck it close to your bosom, okay? Because they're going to try to snatch it. I've seen videos where people are like, this is how I put my Labubu on my purse and make it harder for people to steal it from me. There is a step-by-step process that the girlies are doing so they can protect their investment, because that's really what all of these figurines are. They are an investment, okay? So just the world of that one specific line that Pop Mart makes, Labubus, is going crazy, okay? Speakers going bammer, no Soldier Boy, it's getting insane, okay? Another, like I said, popular one that I mentioned before Pop Mart is also Sonny Angel. Sonny Angel is a company, and they make collectible minifigures, and they're from Japan, and it's known for the small angelic boy figures that wear different themed headgear. And each figure is a surprise, sold in a blind box, and the themes range from animals to fruits to seasonal and limited edition designs. They've been around since 2004, and they have a big following because they're cute, calming, and fun to collect. So that's the one that I'm known about for the longest time. And it seems like with the popularity of blind boxes just going up and up and up, within today's generation, Sonny Angels has had a resurgence in popularity, and I'm just seeing more and more and more people get into collecting Sonny Angels. As far as my personal opinion on Sonny Angels, I think that they're really, really cute, but I'm also, like the Labubus, not really interested in getting into Sonny Angels for real. I think I want just one just to have one, and specifically one from the Cherry Blossom line. That would be cute, right? But other than that, I'm just not really interested in having a naked baby on my desk. No shade, no tea. Love Sonny Angels down. They're so cute, but it's just not gonna be personally for me. But like I said, them Cherry Blossom ones, they're freaking cute. So I might get one of those. So that's just a brief overview of, I would say, the two most popular brands of blind boxes made by Pop Mart store and Sonny Angel. And the ones that I own, I have a Hello Kitty blind box that I got from Target. Hello Kitty has a lot of different blind boxes that they offer that are easily accessible, not just at stores like Pop Mart or a Sonny Angel retailer. You can get some of the Hello Kitty ones at Walmart, like I said, Target. I think I've seen a couple of them at Five Below. And then they have different ones that are specifically within Hello Kitty lore of Cinema Roll. They have a few of those that I saw at Box Lunch. Not sure if any of you guys are familiar with that store, but then they have a whole series of just Cinema Roll blind boxes that you can get. So I did get a cute little one that I have on my desk from that. Also, I own, I think, 2 of the Mini Bratz blind boxes. For those who don't know, Bratz stepped into the world of blind boxes, and they came out with just mini versions of their dolls that you can collect. And when you buy the container, you don't know which one you're going to get. So those are super cute as well, because I've been getting into collecting brass dolls again. So it just made sense for me to get a couple minis just to see what was popping in with those. And they're really adorable. And then I also have Smiskies. When it comes to Smiskies, the people that make Smiskies are Sonny Angel. And Sonny Angel basically decided we want something to offer a little bit more variety that's like a little bit more gender neutral, because I guess the girlies are really into Sonny Angels, but they wanted something that could also like appeal to the guys as well. So they created Smiskies. So I have 5 Smiskies so far. And that's the ones that I've like really, really been hyper fixated on. And I love the most out of all blind boxes. I stand Smiskies, and they're glow in the dark collectible figures. They're little humanoid creatures that hide in corners or small spaces, and they come in different poses and themes like stretching, sleeping, doing yoga. Just like Sonny Angels, they're sold in blind boxes, so you'll never know which one you'll get. They're so adorable. And I like the fact that when it comes to Smiskies, you don't have to like charge them up. They're really going to glow in the dark at like a minimum level no matter what. But if you like set them in front of the light or put a light in front of them, they're really going to glow. So that's always like so fun. So those are the ones that I've done unboxings on my coloring account, is all of the Smiskies that I've had so far. And now let's get into the blind boxes that I've been really interested in getting, that I'm hoping that I can get soon. So the one that I'm interested in the most and getting outside of the Smiskies is Peach Riot. Oh my gosh, guys. I found Peach Riot like last week, and I even told my sister about it, and she was like, wait, like this eats. And I'm like, right. Like, are you kidding me? I don't see too many people like talking about Peach Riots compared to the way they talk about, Labubu's. But Peach Riot is a blind box collectible series that is also made by Pop Mart and featured edgy punk inspired girl characters with bold outfits, creative poses. The designs mix cute and rebellious aesthetics, often with themes like street fashion, music, or attitude. They stand out from other Pop Mart figures because of their sassier vibe and the detailed styling, making them super popular among characters who love a little bit of edge with their cute. And the thing that I like the most about Peach Riot coming from Pop Mart is the fact that Peach Riot is so unique in that way of not only the fact that they have like an edgy aesthetic, but they're also a virtual band. Okay, that's what's gagging me. That's what's gagging me and sending me into orbit, is the fact that they're a virtual band. Okay, and they've released original music. Like, I don't know about you, but I think that that's eerie. And the members' names are Poppy, Gigi, and Frankie. I still need to like get more into the Peach Riot lore and figure out like who my favorite is. But so far, I would say that I'm like leaning towards Poppy, but I'll have to follow up with you guys like to tell you who my ultimate bias is in the end, because I don't know, I'm still learning about their personalities, learning about the different looks that come with all of the different series and stuff like that. So they released original music, and I think that why I like them the most is because I love a virtual group moment, because they kind of remind me of KDA. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that, but KDA is also a virtual group, but they're a virtual K-pop group, and they were created by Riot Games based on characters from League of Legends. And I'm not a person who's like interested in Riot Games. I don't play League of Legends, but when I saw that KDA was a virtual K-pop group, and I love K-pop, I've been a K-pop stan for a decade now, I'm like, I'm all in. And the thing about KDA is that they use like voices. The people that sing their songs are from like actual K-pop groups, a couple of them. I think one of them is voiced also by like Madison Beer. So yeah, there's like lots of variety with their singles that they've released and their music videos, like Always Eat. So I've been a KDA stan for a couple of years now. So the fact that I found like another virtual group is everything. And they also just happen to be a blind box collectible series made by Pop Mart as well. I also love the fact that Peach Riot, they have different series that they make that are like based on like different aesthetics. So you think like Bratz. We all love Bratz. Bratz has fashion pixies where they're all basically like fairies and pixies and stuff. Peach Riot also has a line where they're fairies and pixies. They also have one where it's like them like working, right? Like they have different jobs. That's a series. Like there's so many different options, and the Peach Riot specifically line is like relatively new. I think it said they debuted in 2023, I believe. So I love kind of just being at the beginning of something. You know what I mean? It's not too old. So I'm excited to like see what the future of Peach Riot entails, but that is the one that I'm really, really excited to get into. I did apply to get like a sample from one of the Peach Riot figurines on TikTok Shop. If you know, you know, when you're part of like the TikTok creator like thingy, sometimes you can get samples, and Pop Mart denied me, you know, but it is what it is. You know, I just got into collecting blind box items and figurines, so maybe they were like, she ain't got enough experience, you know, we don't see enough of it on her page. I don't know, but if Pop Mart, if you see this, if you want to send me some blind boxes, even if it's not even just Peach Riot, like I'm not gonna say no, okay, period. But then there's a couple of other ones that I really want to get into that I have my eye on, like Pucky Beanie Bubble Up. I'm sorry. The Pucky Beanie Bubble Up blind boxes are so stinking cute. Also, if you haven't seen those, they're basically just like these cute little like beanie babies that have gum in their mouth essentially, and then when you like press on their stomach, like the bubble just like gets bigger. Something about that is just so simple but so cute. Like they have different facial expressions, they come in different colors. I definitely want one of those. And the ones that are on my maybe list from Pop Mart are Crybabies. Crybabies, I showed to my sister as well, and she was like, she's like, I'm not really into the ones that are like so ugly and strange that they're cute. She's not into that. But like when it comes to the Crybabies, I'm kind of into it. So I think I might get a Crybaby eventually if I can get my hands on one. But I don't know. And for those who don't know, Crybabies are basically just these other cute little blind box figurines that just always look like they're crying. They have different facial expressions, and they have like tears that are like falling down their face, and they're kind of cute. They're kind of cute. But the ones that I would want the most out of the Crybabies is probably like one of the Powerpuff Girls Crybabies, because they did a collab with Powerpuff Girls and they have a few of those. So I think maybe that would be like my exception. And then another maybe that I'm kind of interested in is the Jackson Wang Pop Mart figurines. For those who don't know, I am also obsessed with GOT7. They are my ultimate favorite K-pop group, and Jackson Wang is a member of GOT7, and he also like does his own like solo work, and he's had, you know, a couple of projects that he's dropped, you know, an album, and those are like, his figurines are based on his different music videos, I think. And I just like looked at that a couple days ago, and I'm like, Jackson's on here? Like, I did not know. So I'm like, dang, for the one time, just because that's my man, he's my original bias in GOT7. I feel like it's only right that I get like at least one Jackson one if I can, you know? I think it's also interesting that there have been so many like different knockoffs that companies are making when it comes to these blind boxes that are made by Sonny Angel and Pop Mart, because I just saw an ad on my Instagram where Five Below, the store, now has a knockoff of Labubu's called La Babies. And I'm like, guys, What happened to the original plot of the story? Like, what the freak is going on? La Babies? And I think they also have like another knockoff of La Boo Boos called La Fufus. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But there's a couple of different dupes out there when it comes to the La Boo Boos, for real. And then I would say the biggest thing that I've like also had like an issue with when it comes to like getting access to Pop Mart is the fact that as much as I want to get into finally getting any type of blind box from Pop Mart, is difficult because the ones that I want are usually sold out online. So that is a negative. And there's not too many stores as it is in America for Pop Mart. And when I looked up like the one that was nearest to me, it's 4 hours away. The nearest Pop Mart store by me is 4 hours away in Chicago. So I'm like, dang, that's literally freaking crazy, dude. Are you serious right now? But I also have seen that they have like quite a few that they keep in stock on TikTok Shop. So I might look into like getting some through there if there's one that I want that's like sold out on the website. But I'm just hoping that ultimately when I take my trip coming up and I go to Chicago for my concert, I can stop by the Pop Mart there and like get a couple things. But I don't know how crazy it's gonna be. Like, is the Pop Mart in Chicago crazy like I always see on TikTok? I don't know. So wish me luck on that. But I'm hoping I'm able to at least get a few things. And I feel like maybe I'll have like good luck just because I'm not in there to get like what everybody else is there to get. I don't want the Boo Boos. I want some Peach Riots. I want, a Pucky beanie bubble up. Okay. So hopefully like there won't really be anybody in the way if I'm able to get up in there. So that is unfortunate. Like Pop Mart, guys, come on, wake it up. Like, we need some more stores in Michigan. We need a store in Michigan. Like, what's going on? I did see, though, speaking of Michigan, that they do have, like, vending machines. They do have a Pop Mart vending machine at a mall that's about, like, 50 minutes away from me. But, like, still, it's 50 minutes away. Like, come on. I know that's better than 4 hours. But the last time I was at the mall, I was so tired. I ended up not figuring out where it was at. I didn't know what wing it was in. So maybe next time I go, I could find it and see what they got up in the vending machine. So I'll have to report back with you guys on that. But I think that's what's like hard for me when it comes to like accessibility with the blind boxes that like aren't like Hello Kitty we can get from Five Below, Target, Walmart, is the ones that are made by Pop Mart and Sonny Angel. Because even when it comes to Sonny Angel, I only have like a few legit Sonny Angel retailers that are near me. Because if you don't know, if you want a Sonny Angel or if you want a Smisky, you can download the Sonny Angel app and it's going to tell you what legit retailers are closest to you. And the ones that are closest to me are also an hour away. And I want to go to like a legit retailer because if I don't, then you can run the risk of like getting a fake Smisky. And I don't want that because I saw videos on TikTok and they have a couple fake Smiskies out there, guys. The fake Smiskies are like, they look really greasy. It's basically the best way to spot it, just in case you guys want to get into it, or if you ever are questioning like if it's fake. It seems like they look really greasy. So of course I want to go to a legit retailer. So I'm like, oh my god. So I definitely have to still check out the one that's closest to me. But they also have one near the hotel that I'm staying at in Chicago as well. So I'm just hoping that I can get to the Sonny Angel retailer and get a couple Smiskies on my trip and then make it to Pop Mart and get the things that I want to get there as well. So yeah, that's just been kind of like my struggle so far, but I'm just hoping that I can like score what I want to score on that freaking trip. But overall, I would just say that blind boxes, yes, they can get a little bit expensive, but I just feel like the mystery of it all is what is so addicting, and the designs are just always so cute. And that's what is the appeal, you know? And it's like that thrill of not knowing like what you're going to get. And then you're hoping that you don't get like a double is always so much fun. And I think that surprise element, like mixed in with how cute and detailed they are, is what keeps people coming back. And people, aka me, for more. So it's like, it's kind of chaos, but I feel like it's like fun chaos, right? Like, as long as it's like not becoming like disruptive to your life, and where you're like prioritizing like getting blind boxes over your responsibilities and keeping a balance, then like that's what's important. Because I feel like when it comes to like this trend, it can get to like addiction really fast. And I think that some people are genuinely like addicted and obsessed. And it's like, okay, you don't want to like not pay your bills. You don't want to like go into debt, you know, trying to collect these figures. Like, if you have the means to be able to get a couple, you know, every once in a while, then yes, you deserve to treat yourself. And I think that's like the type of lane that I'm trying to go in. Like, I just got the few that I got. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep it cute until I go on my trip. Like, if you don't put like some type of boundary on it, you know, to keep it demure and like space out in between when you get them, then it's going to become a slippery slope, babe. You know? So when it comes to this type of lifestyle, if you're going to get into it, I know it's easy to just like think about it and like you got to try to resist the impulse, you know, that urge to be able to just buy, right? Like, we got to keep it demure, okay? Because we do have, you know, adulting to take care of. But like I said at the beginning, when you want that distraction moment every once in a while, then yes, opening up a blind box is going to give you that dopamine hit that you need, that you deserve. So I would say, you know, like treat yourself like once a quarter. You know, get a couple, turn up, see how you feel about it. I say it doesn't hurt. And even outside of like Pop Mart, Sonny Angel, there's just so many different brands out there that make blind boxes that are, you know, on the more affordable end. And then you have ones that are even, you know, more on the designer, you know, high end. So it's really just up to your personal preference, your budget, what you're okay with, what you think is cute, what you think is not, on which direction that you go in. And I think that that's what's, you know, good about this, is that there's so much variety now when it comes to that. So many options that you can choose from. That's just been my like hyper fixation that I kind of wanted to just do a, you know, a mini deep dive into, share with you guys the origins of it, share the most popular brands, what I think the appeal is, and what the appeal is personally for me, ones I have, ones I'm looking forward to getting. And like I said, you know, towards the beginning, if you're interested in seeing my unboxings and stuff, I'll be posting them on my Instagram, TikTok at Coloring with Kristen. So be sure to follow over there, guys. And like I said at the beginning, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Rate that 5 stars and leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Cause I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my